All right, hopefully you've finished your practice with exponential versus linear versus quadratic, and you're starting to understand what a linear function looks like from a table. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to write the exponential function. So the next problem set will all be exponential, but you're going to actually write the function yourself. So to do that, let's really quickly go over what the parts of an exponential function are. So when we write an exponential function, it's going to be of the form y equals a times b to the power of x. So the reason why it's called exponential is because x is in the exponent. So a is always going to be our starting value when x is 0, and b is going to be the factor, whatever you're multiplying by. So these are actually quite easy to do, process-wise. You're always going to start by just writing y equals. So you're going to write y equals. Then you have to figure out what your initial value is. Well, your initial value is literally whatever y is when x is 0. So if right here it's the first number, and I think on most of these it will be. So where x is 0, that's your initial value. So in this one, it's just 1. Then you're going to have some parentheses. And then you're going to put whatever number we're multiplying by. So to figure out what we're multiplying by, we have to divide. So you're going to do 4 divide 1 is 4. 16 divide by 4 is also 4. And then just one last check. 64 divided by 16 is also 4. So 4 is the number we're multiplying by. And then your power is just x. And that's really all there is to it. You're just putting it into that formula. If you haven't figured it out yet, exponent in Delta Math is Shift 6 at the same time. Hold Shift and 6 at the same time. So that's how you get the x and the exponent there. Okay, so this one was going up. This is a growth. Let me show you a decay example just so you can see how it's going to look. You notice here our y values are decreasing. They're getting smaller. So again, we're going to start by writing y equals. Then you're going to look over here. There's my initial value. So 3 goes next. Then you're going to figure out what are we going, well, in this case, down by. What are we multiplying by that makes it go down? So you do 1.5 divide 3 in your calculator, which is actually a half or 0.5. Either one will work. And then do it again. 0.75 divided by 1.5. You should get a half again. And so on and so forth. You're going to, with these, since we know they're linear, you probably could get away with just checking 1. And then, so we're going to put 1/2 right here, and then to the power of x. And that's your answer. For this one, you could also put y equals 3 times 0.5 to the power of x, and you would still get the right answer. Because Delta Math is pretty good about checking. So either one will work. Either one is equally correct. The time you don't want to use a decimal is if it's not exactly the same as a fraction. So like 2/3 is 0.6666666. Repeating, you can't write that as a decimal. So you would keep it as 2/3. But as long as it's something like 0.5 is exactly the same thing as 1/2, you can write it as a decimal or a fraction. So that's all there is to this problem set. So get to work. I'm only going to give you like 5 of these, so get them done, and then you'll be done with this assignment.